What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Crump side. Today we've got our first battle of Season 2. That's right, Season 2 of the RBL. And we're facing against the Kentucky Crobats, also known as Sameraro 22. And yeah, you can see his team there. He's got a Crobat, you know, he's got his mascot Pokemon, he's got his Blastoise, his Infernape, he's got a Musharna, his Umbreon, and a Mesprit. And you can see I've brought Salamence. Actually, yeah, you can see some of the Pokemon I've drafted now. It's a lot different than Season 1. You know, this is a way better draft in my opinion, and I think it'll do very well against Zach. So you can see I got Salamence, Magnezone, Siggy, Nidoking, Gyarados, and Clefable. And it's the Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados is the Mega I decided to draft, and Zach had drafted a Mega Altaria, and I really thought he was going to bring it, but he did not. But you know, it was probably a good thing he didn't, because I have 3 Pokemon that do check Mega Altaria, so that's probably why he didn't bring it. But also, I do want to say I brought in the Magnezone. I know Zach really wanted the Magnezone, and I managed to snatch it away from him. So I'm playing some mind games by bringing it in. So yes, I will start the battle, and you guys can see how this will play out. It's a very intense match, and you're gonna see that this season will be a lot better than the last season. So let's start it. Let's get it underway. So it was a good battle. He leads off with Braids, also known as Mesprit, and I lead off with Toothful. And I'm thinking he's gonna set up some Stealth Rock. So you know, I'm gonna stay in, you know, just Toxic him, and I should be fine. But no, he's got Ice Beam. I'm dead. So yeah, first turn Ice Beam. I'm going down. Toothful is going down, and that really sucks. So now I'm fighting an uphill battle. So I set up my Magic Puff, and I feel like he's gonna switch into something fast and something that can hit me really hard, you know, like that Crobat. So I decided to go for a Thunder Wave, and that works out really well, because if there's something I want to be slow, it's that Crobat. So with Crobat, you know, slow down, I'm pretty fine to do whatever I want right now. So I switch into Magnezone, because I know if he decides to attack, I am safe to like really just switch in. And like Magnezone can really take whatever this thing wants to do. So I figure he's gonna switch, so I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch, and he brings in the Mushed Tater, and this thing is a bulky motherfucker, because look at that. I am Choice Specs actually, so I mean, of course this thing is so bulky it does like nothing, right? So I switch into a Narza, the Siggy, and the Siggy gets a little bit of action at the start here. I mean, I burn myself with the Flame Orb, and you'll see why. You'll see why, because Psycho Shift, I'll use Psycho Shift, and if you guys don't know what that does, it heals me of any status ailments and passes it on to my opponent. And so it passes over to Mush Tater, and that works out pretty well, because now it's burned. But he's got Heal Bell, so it doesn't really matter too much. So I think that's why he brought it in, so he can cure his Crobat, which I think was a good idea, because that Crobat definitely can do a lot of damage on my team if I'm not careful. And I get burned once again by the Flame Orb, and as you guys know, Siggy does have Magic Guard, so I don't get hurt by any status damage. So I'm fine getting burnt and just passing it on. So I figure he's going to switch, because why not? So I go for another Psycho Shift. That's right, 2 Psycho Shifts back to back, and I burned his Umbreon. So yeah, and you know, him and the Musharna want to synchronize me, but it doesn't matter. I'm already burned, so I'm not gonna get affected by that. So I figure I can probably get out of here, because I can't really do anything against this Umbreon, not anymore. So I'm gonna switch into my Clefable, because Clefable can really eat up whatever this thing wants to do. So I'm gonna switch into Clefable, and I figure I'm gonna scare him out with the Moon Blast. So I don't think he's gonna stay in. So I think this is a good chance to set up some rocks, and you can see that my leftovers will kick in there. So I am not going to be taking a lot of damage, so I decided I'm going to set up some Stealth Rocks, because after he withdraws, of course, but I figure this is a good chance to definitely set up Stealth Rocks. So once he sends in the Big Dizzle, the big Blastoise, Big Dizzle thing, I figure I know what this thing wants to do. There's a reason he brought it in on my Clefable, and that's because it's got a Flash Cannon. And during the battle, I'm like, does this thing learn Flash Cannon? I had to look it up real quick. So indeed, it does learn Flash Cannon. And so, you know what? I'm just going to get out of here, because I do not want to be taking a Flash Cannon from a Blastoise. So I go into How Work, my Magneton. So I'm just going to eat that up just fine. And I think I'm going to scare this thing out pretty well. He might have the Aura Sphere, but I should be able to outspeed. So I decide that once again I'm free to go for any thunder moves that I want, and I think I'm gonna go for another Volt Switch to get priority. So I'm gonna Volt Switch and do quite a bit of damage on Braids, because Braids, you took out my Salamence, and I'm pretty upset about that. Turn 1 Salamence going down. I won't let that down. So I go into Gary, and Gary is my Scarfed Nidoking, and this thing will scare everything pretty much, except that Mush-Tater, because Mush-Tater can really eat whatever attacks you throw at it. So he's going to take some Stealth Rock damage, and I'm going to go for a Sludge Wave. I'm thinking that should be a 2-hit KO at this point, and it does a considerable amount of damage, but after leftovers, I won't be able to take it down from there, so I'm going to be forced to switch, because I don't want to be taking a Nice Beam from this, or not Nice Beam, sorry, a Psychic from this, because you know it's going to happen. So I'm going to switch to Howwork, because I know Howwork will eat up any Psychics it wants to do. I'm pretty thankful he didn't go for a Calm Mind, because then I think I would have been having a hard time. That was a good chance for him to go into Calm Mind, and I'm glad he didn't. So I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt here, thinking I'm Spec, I should take it down. I don't take it down. It lives by like 2 or 3 or 1, I don't know, but it lives just barely, and it goes for a Moonlight. And I figure, you know what? We can't really do anything to each other here. I'm locked into Thunderbolt, and he's gonna just keep Moonlighting, and there's not really much he can do. Once he takes a turn to like heal or attack, you know, I can do something there. And I'm lucky because I get a Paralysis. I was really banking on that Paralysis to happen. So all I have to do is wait for him to either get paralyzed or go for an attack or something other than Moonlight, and I should be fine to take him down. So I think he knows he's going to withdraw, or he wants to withdraw, because he knows that too. So I am free to go for as much as Thunderbolts, because he doesn't really have any ground types either. So Thunderbolt will do a lot on anything he decides to switch in on. And I figure he wants to get, you know, the thing that he can get rid of is this Umbreon, because it's burned. There's not really a lot it can do at this point, unless you know, he could have gone for the Heal Bell and healed it off. But you know what? It's gonna go down now after 2 Thunderbolts. It won't survive that, and burn damage. It's after Rocks, Burn, and being Thunderbolted. Yeah, it's not gonna survive that. So this thing is it's a monster to my team, really. The Infernape. I'm like, man, this Infernape is gonna be a force to deal with, because I know it's gonna do a lot of damage. Shit will go down. Shit will go down. And look at it go down. Look at that Fire Blast. Look, does over half, and even after leftovers, that's like that. That was definitely Specs damage, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't too sure. That did a lot, and it's gonna take down a Magic Puff. But I'm pretty sure that pretty much confirmed that it was Specs, because that did a whole lot, and I'm especially defensive and like calm, so that shouldn't have done that much if it wasn't Specs. So I switched into Big Dizzle, not Big Dizzle, he switched into Big Dizzle. I switched to my Gary the Nidoking, and because I figure I can outspeed with Earth Power, and I really just want to scare that Infernape, and I stay in. I actually stay in, because I figure last time he switched into this Crobat, and last time I switched to my Magnezone, and I thought he would predict that as well. So risky play, and I actually survived the Ice Beam. I for sure thought I was going to go down, but luckily I don't, so that's good. And he switches into Chrono, who's going to take some Rock damage, and I'm going to go for another Earth Power, because I'm, of course, Choice Scarf. But, you know, I decided this is probably not a good really matchup on my end, because I can't really hit him, so I'm going to go back into Magnezone, because Magnezone can really eat up Brave Birds and anything this thing wants to do, so I should be fine for like whatever, really. I'm not gonna do a whole lot, and I should be able to retaliate with a Volt Switch. So he's gonna withdraw, and I think I do go for a Volt Switch. I do believe the Volt Switch is the best move I can really do, you know, I can go for here. So did I go into Volt Switch? And I did go for a Thunderbolt. I guess I wanted that damage, which is good, because this thing is almost like one more Thunderbolt should take it down, and this Musharna, like I said, is really bulky, but after like I did manage to wear it down, and those status ailments really did come through. So Musharna goes down, and I am starting to, you know, balance this battle out. Like, it's starting to even out. And of course, he brings in the Infernape, and I don't really have much else to switch into. So I figure, you know what, Magnezone did its job. I guess you gotta go down. I don't want anything to get really crippled by this thing. So I decided, you know what, my Magnezone can go down. Everything else is low enough health that I can take it down with my other Pokemon, so I should be fine. And so I switched back into Gary King because I know he's a bit afraid of this thing. Because I should outspeed. Being scarfed and all, I will outspeed him. So, and he knows that too. So he switches out into Big Dizzle. And Big Dizzle will take some more rock damage. And after a sludge wave, he will go down. Because, like I said, everyone's really low on health. And those rock damages are adding up. So slowly his Pokemon are going down. And my Gary King will do a bit of a mini sweep, kind of, or scare a lot of his Pokemon out, to be honest. I decided to switch out just to see what kind of Crobat this is. I'm still not quite sure if it's Scarf, because I've only seen it use Brave Bird, so I felt like it was Scarfed. Maybe just the way he brought it in, I thought maybe he brought it in to outspeed. I didn't want to take that risk, so I thought I could switch into Gyarados and get an Intimidate off. And that way he would do not as much damage. So it was a good play because I do live by over half. So that wouldn't be a KO. So I'm good enough there. And I make admittedly a bit of a mistake here. I decided instead of Dragon Dancing, I went for a Waterfall. And had I gone for a Waterfall or a Dragon Dance, I think this game, I would for sure have this game. So I go for the Waterfall, and that'll take Braids down, but you know who's going to come in after this. You guys just know who's going to come in. And because I didn't Dragon Dance, of course it's going to be Infernape. So Infernape will pop back out, giving me a terrible time using Grass Knot. So there's that preparation coming in, because I think he was preparing that I would bring in my Hippowdon. And good thing I didn't, because it has Grass Knot. But it will take down the Gyarados. And then here comes the Sigilyph. That's right, you guys saw it at the start, and it's coming back. It's coming back. So this thing will kind of wreck a little bit. So he brings in the Chrono, and I decide this is a good chance to start bulking up and really ensuring my victory here at this point. So I decided to go for a Cosmic Power because Sigilyph is one bulky Pokemon, and I figure he might go for a Brave Bird, but I don't think he's gonna take the chance of going for Brave Bird and taking Chrono down. And kind of decided he's probably gonna go for a Roost or some other move. So that's why I went for the Cosmic Power. Then I went for a Psycho Shift. So now at this point, he can't really hurt me because he's burned, and I've got my defense at +1. So I will go for one more Cosmic Power after this turn. He's gonna go for another Roost to get to like really close to full health. But at this point, I am really bulky, and he can't really do much to hurt me because this Sigilyph is just like a monster now. It's just a kind of a tank, and he's burned, and so any Brave Birding he wants to do is not gonna do a whole lot. So he decides that goes for another Brave Bird. Why not, right? And you're gonna see, guys, it did like nothing. So what do you know? Sigilyph being a bit of a tank, and I go for the Stored Power because after a +2 Cosmic Power, that should be enough to take Chrono down, and it does take it down. So that's +1 for the Sigilyph, and now Sigilyph has got to take a Choice Specs Fire Blast from this Gohan because it's gonna go for Fire Blast, and there it is. Can I take it? I did still quite a bit of damage, but I did manage to take that hit pretty well. And Sigilyph will take down the Infernape, or moreover, the Mixed Ape, because that thing had both Close Combat and Fire Blast, and then all those. I don't know what its last move was, but that was a very close match, Zach. That turn 1 Ice Beam really just threw my shit all over the place. I gotta be honest, like I did not think Mesprit would have Ice Beam. I really thought you were gonna go for Stealth Rocks, maybe Thunder Wave, possibly I don't know, some sort of status, like some sort of move like that, and I really thought that's what was gonna happen. So if you guys saw it, like if I didn't die that turn, you guys would have seen me gone for a Toxic, because I'm like, this thing's gonna go for Stealth Rocks, I might as well get some Toxic damage off and things will be good, But obviously that didn't happen, and Salamence goes down in the first turn. So Salamence did not get a lot of action, but I was really proud to see that Sigilyph, Magnezone, Nidoking really put in the work this match, and they were the ones who got like all the KOs. Clefable unfortunately did not survive that Specs Fire Blast, but hey, sometimes you gotta lose something to really gain something. So losing my Clefable pretty much ensured the fact that thing was like I knew it was like Specs after that. I mean, I was still a little bit sketched out because I didn't know if it was Scarfed. I had a slight chance, like maybe this thing is Scarfed, but I did a lot of damage, and so yeah, that pretty much ensured it was Spec. rocks damage really did add up onto Zach's side, especially with the Crobat going down and all the other Pokemon slowly being whittled down. All those Volt Switches did take their toll as well, and yeah, you know, it was a good match. It was a close match, and I feel like I'll actually have a chance this season. I won't be getting 6-0'd by Volcarona, hopefully. Actually, Volcarona did not get drafted in our league, so you know what? I actually won't be seeing any Volcaronas this season, so you know, I'm gonna wipe some sweat off my head because I am glad that's not gonna happen. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you guys enjoy our channel, and you guys can check out our other videos. We do you know, a few stuff more than just battles. We do some co-op stuff. We do some shits and giggles videos. It's a whole lot of fun. So if you guys enjoy that sort of stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And for now, that's it, I guess. So I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye.